Okay, hello. What I'm trying to show in this video is my latest mandocello creation, or I should say conversion. I've been trying to develop a good mandocello, one that I like to play, and this was my second serious attempt. What you're looking at here is a mandocello that was converted over from a 1940 Vega archtop guitar. It is a super jumbo body. The lower bout there is a huge 17-inch lower bout. So it's the super jumbo size. This is basically the same size as the Gibson J200 guitar. Like I said, it was a 1940 archtop made by the Vega company. There you can see next to it, I put a standard Gibson F5 Sam Bush mandolin so you can get some idea of the comparative size. Of course, the mandocello is tuned an octave and a fifth below the mandolin, but it has 8 courses just like the mandolin, and it's the cello voice of the mandolin family, of course. So let's get up a little bit closer. I'll start from the top here. To make this conversion, of course, it originally had a guitar headstock, so I had to remove the guitar tuners, plug the holes with mahogany pegs, and then finish it, sand it smooth, and then finish it off. Cover it with a thin layer of ebony veneer. That's what you see there. And then new holes were drilled for mandocello pegs, and the mandocello tuners were put in. Those happen to be gold Fender mandolin tuners. A new nut was made from mandocello nut made from fossilized ivory. But let me show you first the fingerboard, because to make this conversion, a mandocello, even though it has 8 strings, should have a much narrower fingerboard than a guitar. Guitar is generally, archtop is generally 1 11/16. What you really want for a mandocello is about 1.5 inch. So the original guitar fingerboard was taken off, and a new fingerboard was made, a mandocello fingerboard that is patterned exactly after the Gibson K1 mandocello board. We bought the pattern from Luthier International, and Mark Kaiser, who has a luthiery shop, guitar repair and luthiery shop in Centerville, Ohio, made the new fingerboard from a blank. It's from a 1/4 inch piece of ebony, and it's cut to be exactly like a Gibson K1 mandocello board, except it's 2 frets longer to accommodate this larger body. And he fretted it with guitar Evo wire and bound it, I should say. Really did a nice job. And then he had to slim the neck down, of course, to match the new fingerboard. I'll show you the back in a minute. But this really turned out great, and it plays like a dream. It plays just like my Gibson K1 mandocello, because it's basically the same fingerboard arrangement. Like I said, the body of this thing, the top is made of spruce, and it is nicely carved. It has the traditional tobacco sunburst that was very popular in that period, and still is popular. You can see how it compares to color with the Gibson F5 there, very close. The nut, the bridge was created from a Stuart McDonald ebony bass. I'm not sure if that's Stuart McDonald. Anyway, I bought an ebony archtop guitar bass, and then a new ebony mandocello saddle was carved with the right compensation and inserted, and it was all fitted up, and it seems to work very well. This little piece on the back here is something I've come up with on my mandocellos. That's a piece of ebony that I shaped kind of in the same shape as the top of the headstock here. And it actually has got a piece of ebony behind it, and there's cork between it, and when you torque it down with these 2 brass screws, it deadens those strings, and it also provides a nice little heel rest. It's very solid, it doesn't move, and it provides a nice little heel rest for the heel of the palm of your hand when you're picking. I really like it. I'm going to put it on all my mandocellos. I don't have an armrest on you yet. I have one ordered from Steve Bell, an Ebony Armrest, and you really need it for this because it's got a lot of recurve in it. This is a beautiful spruce top, and it's nicely carved because it's got great sound, and there's so much recurve here that it soon starts to bite into your forearm when you play. So I'll really be happy when that armrest comes. Of course, the tailpiece, I put a standard Gibson Gibson style gold tailpiece on here, a mandolin style, and I'll probably change that to a trapeze arrangement when I get around to it sometime. The pickguard on here is just the old guitar pickguard, and you can see this is where the guitar fingerboard used to end, and it probably had some kind of a diamond pickup on the guitar at one point in time. That's why they cut this gap out of here. So I'll eventually try to replace that pickguard, I think. Let me just show you the back. The back appears to be maple. I say appears to be. I'll tell you why in a second. It's a nice looking piece of wood. You can see that nice maple. I'm not sure that's solid maple. It could be veneer. I can't match it up on the inside very well. But this old back binding here is rotted. It apparently has been in a case, sat in a case for a long time, and that binding is rotted. I'm going to have to replace it. When I replace it, I'll be able to tell whether that's solid or veneer. But you know, I really don't, at this point, I don't care. It looks beautiful and it sounds awesome, so I don't really care if it's solid maple or not. I don't think you can hardly beat the sound of this mandocello. I'll post some sound a little bit. And as I mentioned, we narrowed the back of the neck. We had to cut the neck down to fit the fretboard. A standard, like I say, a standard guitar neck is quite a bit wider than a mandocello, and so we narrowed it down, blended it in, and then refinished it so that it matches the old finish. And I think that Mark did this again, and I think he did a beautiful job. I mean, it looks totally original. You'd never know that wasn't, an expert would know, but most people wouldn't know that's not original finish on there. It looks really nice. And as I said, the bottom line, the most important part of this mandocello is that it absolutely sounds awesome. I have it strung right now with a standard set of D'Addario J78 strings. These are 7400s here, the big strings, and going down to 2200s. And one of the strings in the D'Addario set was bad, so I put a bass guitar string on there until I can get a replacement. But even with that bass guitar string, it really sounds great. And of course, again, that's the bottom line, is how does it sound. So I am 99% of the way there to the type of mandocello that I wanted. I think this one's going to do just great for me. Again, I'll show you, compare it to the size of the mandolin. It's a handful to play, but with this Gibson style neck, for a mandocello, this thing is really good. It's got very little buzz, and it's getting less buzz the more I play it, so some of it is operator error, obviously. And like I said, I will post some sound clips of this big boy very soon. So thank you. Hope you enjoyed it.